Welcome back to AutoLooks Online. This week we're looking at the new Volkswagen Amarok. Yes, Volkswagen does actually have a truck in the world. Too bad it's not North America. Okay, taking a look at Volkswagen's truck, we all remember those weird looking things they had built on the Wasco Wabbit platform back in the 1970s and 80s. This thing is no longer like that. Now, this thing is basically an oversized Touareg. It can go off-road. It can haul some ass. It can haul some shit. It can haul 4 people in decent size. But what it can't haul? There's lots of money. Why? Because this thing really isn't a full-size truck. It's hardly a mid-size truck. But hey, it's all-around truck. So why, might you ask, would Volkswagen release a truck and not enter the most lucrative truck market in the world, North America? Well, I don't know why, but for some reason they think it's a little too expensive for them to bring the truck over here. I don't know why they just don't do like the Japanese and start building them here. Mexico is a prime destination for that. Why not? Now let's take a look at this thing. Okay, moving on to the bottom. Rims, yeah. I really think they could have done something a little bit more different with this. I know it's a truck. I know it's not supposed to have the best rims in the world, but still, those rims aren't the greatest. It does have running boards, which is a good thing. You know, truck's gonna have a running board. Most trucks do these days, anyways. Up front, the new boxy design for Volkswagen is kind of nice. Kind of works good with the truck, considering the fact that, well, you can't have something round for a truck. We all remember the F-150s in the late 90s. They went to that smooth, round look. Really good on the Ford Lightning, but really crappy for making the F-150 look like a manly truck. Maybe that's the reason why Dodge and GM stole its sales. Now, moving on to the bottom of this thing, the bumper. The bumper doesn't really stand out. Most trucks, you look at the front, you can see the bumper just like at the back. Like, it's not really integrated into the design at all. Volkswagen has done a very well done job doing this. The bumper is actually part of the front. Like, it's hard to notice that the bumper is right here. Like, you can still guess that, yeah, bumper probably is there, but it doesn't show. Take a look at a 2000 Dodge Ram. See the oversized grille sticking, or oversized front bumper sticking out from the front end? On this Volkswagen, it doesn't. Now, Volkswagen has done their massive VW symbol right dead center of the vehicle, kind of a focal point. Now, the front grille isn't the world's greatest. Not too crazy about these chrome slits they have going along the side. It is nice feature, very German, very intriguing, very plain, and yet very efficient. The bottom grille looks a little cheap. Looks like it's just a big hunk of plastic cut into the bumper. And I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it looks like the chrome shouldn't really be there. Moving on to the hood. The hood is pretty basic. Like it's got that badass looking truck appeal to it. Like, it's tapered down. Something that Chrysler Corporation kind of started with the transport style front ends of trucks. And it seems Volkswagen is taking that. The only problem is there's nothing else in the hood. There's one massive space. Nothing there. No line in the center. No V. No nothing. Up top, you're looking at your roof line. Pretty basic. It's a truck. Roof goes up, goes flat, and that's about it. Flattens out at the back for back window, right? You can have a box on it, unless you're looking at something like an Avalanche or a Ridgeline. Now, unlike a lot of the trucks that are starting to come out now, this actually has a box on it. A lot of mid-sized trucks are starting to go to be like the Ridgeline, body on frame, or not body on frame, unibody construction, where if your box starts rotting out in your truck starts rotting out. Good thing about trucks right now is with the body on frame and the box actually is separate from the cab. If your box rusts, which is prone to happen with most trucks, even if you undercoat them, they can still rot, rust, get beat up. It's easy to replace them. Now, on this, it does. Now, wheel wells are looking pretty kick-ass. Why? Because Volkswagen has actually added outer wheel wells to them that stick out from the truck. Now, this is a great feature for trucks. Trucks that don't have them, I don't know, just don't seem like a truck. You have to have them because of the fact that this is supposed to go into the bush. You don't want to scrape up the whole paint job of your truck. If you have a wheel well, it keeps rocks and other things from scraping the crap out of your truck. Now, moving on to the bottom, body line, from the dent body line, right around to the back bumper. That is a well done feature. You can't really say anything bad about that. Why? Well, it wraps right around to the rear bumper. Rear bumper is still a regular truck bumper, a chrome thing that sticks out from the back end. A lot of these haven't changed. The Dodge has started trying changing it. GM and Chevy have started trying to add more of a, integrating the bumper into the back end. It's nice, but it still doesn't appear like a truck. Trucks are meant, like if it's a work truck, you're meant to back up at loading docks all the time or back into the bush. You hit trees or something, you get a plastic bumper, your bumper's gone. You got a steel bumper like this, you back into a loading dock or a tree, you're going to get a dent on it. You're going to look at it and go, okay, whatever. You get a plastic one, it cracks it chips it tears your paint. Not the world's greatest. It's a truck. Trucks are meant to be abused. That's why they're built. Quality on them is so much better. Now, moving on to the back end of this thing. Taillights are pretty plain, pretty boring. It's a truck. Truck taillights never really change. The only problem with these ones is the way they're designed. The way the lights are. You can see that it's a cube, but it's got a cube that kind of sticks out with another cube in the center. Okay, cool if you're a video game nerd. This seems like something you would see on an antique video game from the 1980s, not on a truck from now. The other bad part about the back end of this thing, well, it's a truck. There's not much you could say. Square box, bumper sticks out, all the plain Jane, regular stuff you're going to expect with a truck, right? Now, Volkswagen has added this massive symbol to the back. I used to be one for spreading the name of the back of the truck. You have a Dodge written in the back, GM, Chevy, Ford, Mazda, whatever. I'm not too into the symbol on the back. Why? Well, you have one right in your grill. Why do you need it written on the back? I prefer having the company name written across the back of the vehicle. A lot of cars are starting to do it in the taillights. Maybe trucks should start doing it on the boxes again. And with Volkswagen, this symbol is just huge. It's one massive thing in the back end of the truck. Really, it shouldn't be there. You can get rid of that and just put, a little Volkswagen thing at the bottom and the name. Nothing else. It's a truck. Come on. Now, the only other bad thing is the tailgate latch. It's a little high. Because the symbol's dead center, the tailgate latch is right at the top. It's always nice to have a dead center. One, good place for your license plate to hide right in the tailgate of the truck. Unless you're one of those people that rips the tailgate off, then you're kind of screwed for it. And two, shorter people can actually access the truck if it's four-wheel drive and lifted. This thing's four-wheel drive and lifted. You can't access that. You can't do much. But all around, with Volkswagen's truck, all I can say is, when are they going to bring it to North America? Like, come on, Volkswagen. You've had trucks everywhere else in the world for the longest time. Let's bring it to North America. There are tons of people here that buy Volkswagens and want a truck. It's just like Hyundai Kia. Everybody wants a truck from them, too. Big company. They got everything else that everyone wants except for a truck. People need trucks. I personally need a truck. Like, why do I want a truck? Well, I own my own house. I gotta fix it. Trying to get stuff around in a car? No. Let's say, Volkswagen had a truck. I don't mind Volkswagens. They build pretty good diesels. Why don't I get one? Considering the fact they probably have a V6 diesel sitting in this truck, and no one else has that in North America. Overall, this thing, we're getting a 7 out of 10. Still pretty plain Jane, still pretty boring, but you know what? For a truck, it's still kind of cool. It doesn't have that girlish, smooth edges and, bad curves that the Ford F-150 or the mid to late 90s had. But it's still got some of that badass appeal. So overall, it's a pretty decent truck. I might buy it. Still not my favorite. No. Mitsubishi got rid of my favorite. But for this week at AutoLooks, let's just say Volkswagen, if you want to compete against Toyota in the North American market, maybe you should bring your own truck over here.